So it's pretty obvious that the news of Canelo Alvarez's next opponent being Edgar Berlanga comes as nothing short of a huge disappointment to many fight fans and spectators who crossed their fingers in hopes that we would finally see a showdown between Canelo and the quote-unquote Mexican monster that is David Benavidez. With the two biggest fights out there for Canelo being Benavidez himself and Terrence Bud Crawford, Edgar Berlanga was the worst case scenario. And as cringe as Berlanga ultimately being Canelo's choice is, I see this as more so a situation where it isn't necessarily that Canelo vs Berlanga is the problem most are making it out to be. Now I understand that it's the fight no one wanted, and I'm sure most of us would agree that Berlanga stands no chance against Alvarez and would even quote David Benavidez, who called it a trash fight. But it's clear as day that the real problem here is this matchup wouldn't be facing as much backlash as it is had a potential bout with David Benavidez not existed. I don't think this many fight fans would be causing such a shitstorm had Canelo's last two opponents not been John Ryder and Jaime Munguia. You know, it's more so a slap in the face when Canelo's up there saying things like, "I'm Mexican, I could do whatever I want," or "What has Benavidez done to deserve a fight with me?" Yet and still in the same breath ask for the largest purse of his career for a fight with David, only to turn around and give a shot to Berlanga, who hasn't done a damn thing to deserve such. I get that some fans will go on about how Berlanga is Canelo's mandatory, and many will bicker back and forth on if Benavidez activating his mandatory status would have made a difference either way. But the fact of the matter is this: the fight everyone wants to see is Canelo Alvarez versus David Benavidez. That's the one, it's been the one, and it's probably gonna be the one until Canelo retires or Benavidez slips up and suffers an L. It's no secret, and no, the hype for that bout has not died down in any way, shape, or form. It's what the people want, and with Canelo being the face of boxing that he is, because let's face it, he's still indeed the face of boxing, no matter how many times Tank fans try to convince themselves that it's Gervonta. Tank may be up next and on his way, but close is no cigar. It's still Canelo, and being that Canelo is the face, all Canelo has to do is make the call, whether that be for Benavidez, Crawford, or any other legitimate challenge. Because it's pretty obvious at this point that if Canelo wanted either of those fights, they would have already been made. It defeats its purpose though, because to anyone out there who's paid attention to Canelo's statements up until this point, as much as this may come as a shocker to most of you, the man already let us know time and time again that he doesn't want to face these guys, bro. He said he would get no credit if he faces Crawford because people would just say he beat a smaller guy, and he also said that if no promoter comes forward with his request of 150 to 200 million to face Benavidez, then there would be no fight. It's understood that we all have high expectations and anticipated Canelo's next move to be worth our time, but the dude already let the world know that he pretty much isn't here to satisfy what the fans want anymore. Yeah, many believe that even though the IBF stripped him, he's still holding the other super middleweight titles hostage. Yeah, maybe he's afraid that Benavidez could be the one to beat him down. And yeah, maybe he's even hesitant that Crawford may get the best of him, leaving him with no built-in excuse for a potential loss the way he already has with his losses to Mayweather and Bivol. But the ugly truth here is, Canelo Alvarez is going to do whatever Canelo Alvarez wants to do, when he wants to do it, and just as long as we all continue to pay for his fights, why wouldn't he cash out and make money off the Mexican fan base in a bout against Jaime Munguia? You know, why wouldn't he take advantage and rack up the dollars from the Puerto Rican fan base with a classic marketing tour of Mexico versus Puerto Rico against Edgar Berlanga? Yes, hardcore fans make a difference, but we all know that no one generates a buzz like the casual fan who don't know any better, and that's just a fact. So take it for what it is, but what's done is done, and your September 14th bout is and will be Canelo Alvarez versus Edgar fucking Berlanga. Oh, it's real. This is really happening, bruh. I mean, it's gotten to the point where our only hope now is the one we call His Excellency Turki Alalshikh, the one promoter that has been very vocal that he's going out of his way to bring forth a potential super fight between Canelo and Crawford. He's made it clear on more than one occasion that those are his intentions, and just recently stated once again that he will be looking to make Canelo what he believes to be a fair price, because according to His Excellency, just as we've heard from the horse's mouth, Terrence Bud Crawford wants to fight with Canelo. Crawford is asking for the fight with Canelo, and Crawford has been very adamant in the lead up to his August 3rd bout with Israel Madrimov that he's gunning for Canelo next. Of course, Crawford still has to get past Israel Madrimov in order for the stars to align. But if you are a betting man or woman, I'm sure it's a no-brainer that the majority do have Crawford over Madrimov, as well as you would Canelo over Berlanga. And although Crawford is expected to be victorious on August 3rd, his confident opponent that is Israel Madrimov has also been very vocal that he's not only going to defeat the old Crawford according to him, but that after he's done with Bud, maybe he, Madrimov, will also be stepping in line to join the Canelo Alvarez sweepstakes. And boy, if that ends up being the case, barring any Crawford rematch, I can only imagine the volcano eruption it will have on the boxing world and everyone who's still giving Canelo the benefit of the doubt that he would eventually be facing some elite competition. Let's just hope and be optimistic that Madrimov's words are a hint or maybe even a clue that His Excellency's already in cahoots with Canelo to face Crawford next. Because there's a chance that this may already be the plan, and at this point all we can do is dream. Pop off.